Welcome back to TYT Sports. My name is Britton Harden, and I've been charged with the difficult task of talking boxing with you this morning. It's going to be so tough. No, obviously boxing is something that I love, so let's get right into it. The Froch-Groves fight this past weekend, man, it was awesome. 80,000 fans in Wembley. Like, that is some statement, right? That's some statement that boxing is not going anywhere, that although it's a very niche sport, people come out when there's a thriller fight, when there's excitement around the fight, when there's electricity around the fight. And this fight was obviously very electrifying. You know, you had Groves coming back with the old redemption kind of theme. He wanted to prove that, you know, he was slighted out of his first opportunity to take that big win. And, you know, you kind of had the same theme with Carl Froch, who felt like he won that fight. If there's one thing that I took away from the first fight after watching it, it was that Froch didn't concede anything. He said at the end of the fight, let's not forget who won this fight. In the first fight, you know, he came out. I don't think he very much so respected Groves. I don't think that he anticipated that much of a rough and tough fight from the competitor. And he got caught off guard, and Groves got under his skin, and he got put on the canvas. He got hurt, and he got shaken up a few times. Coming into the second fight, he knew exactly what he was getting himself into. He knew the kind of punches he was going to take, and he was prepared to take them. Groves outboxed him for the majority of the first fight. I mean, a majority of the second fight, sorry. But, you know, Carl Froch knows himself, and he knows he has that great equalizer, which is the power. You know, headed into the stretch of the fight, I think about the seventh fight, I think that Carl Froch kind of had the fight figured out. He knew what he had to do. And I noticed that he took something away from the first fight, and that was that he couldn't allow himself to be backed up. When he was hurt in the first fight, he would always back straight up, which would, you know, make him susceptible to another overhand right, which Groves landed time after time after time. In the second fight, he kind of stood his ground a little bit more, and he backed Groves up, which was obviously the equation to winning the fight. You know, although Groves was the quicker and more technical fighter, as I said before, Froch knew that he had that equalizer, which was the power. He set it up with a throwaway left hook and landed that right hand right on the chin, and he put his man to sleep. This fight had all of the recipes for a great night of boxing. You have two stars, you have a back and forth fight, you have two different styles, and then it ends in a knockout. What more can you ask for in a night of boxing?
Right, and the Guardian article, I mean, points out, like, has boxing lost its captivating feel? And in a fight like that, as you mentioned before, it's a statement. I mean, a knockout in the 8th round, and a fight that Froch was, we think, losing, score-wise, was losing. So do you think if Froch does not land that thunderous punch, does Groves win that fight?
You know what? I want to say this. Froch showed the heart of a true champion, not only in the second fight, obviously, by winning it with no controversy, but in the first fight, when there was controversy, he didn't concede anything. And, you know, you can be a noble man and you can say, yeah, he beat me every round and I got lucky and I knocked him out. Or you can be a champion and you can concede nothing, which he did. And I took note of that in the presser after the first fight. He sat right next to Groves. He congratulated him on his performance. He said, we can do it again, but let's not forget who won this fight. So I knew coming into the fight that if it came down to being a test of wills, if it came down to being, you know, a battle of attrition, I really thought that Froch had the ability to pull it out. And so I really wasn't surprised with Froch taking that one. I think that had he not landed that big right hand, he would have set something else out. He really wanted to win this one by knockout.